Nader, the industry that you operate in is globally a highly fragmented industry. What kind of opportunities does that present to you when you're looking for targets?
True, Catherine. The industry is very fragmented. We find a lot of players in several markets operating and competing for the same chunk of business, which what we've seen adds a lot of pressure on their margins. So they have to compete on pricing. They have to keep their overheads to a very minimum level in order to make sure they are competing and making profits at the end of the day. Another challenge with the fragmentation and high competition is people are trying or having to extend their credit terms, which is something that is putting pressure on companies to enhance and putting pressure on the working capital, really. So they're having to find funding in the markets or from banks or from investors in this case. When we come in and evaluate a company, especially in such markets, and that's very common in emerging markets, we're finding that their financial statements have been under strain for a while. So they're either in high debt, unable to collect the receivables on time, and finding themselves in a pickle with regards to how they want to get out of that situation, especially in a slowdown. So it makes it more challenging for us to find a company like that. But then when we come in, we try to see what is the way out of it together. So what can we do? How can we restructure the financials? What can we introduce in terms of new services? What can we offer in terms of cheaper financing, given our network and our reach? And then work that out with the founders and the owners to see if there's a way out of that kind of situation. So yes, it's very fragmented. There's a lot of pressures on it right now in several countries, but with a potential strategic investor like us, where we come in and increase the portfolio, enhance the service offering, and maybe help restructure the financials, there's always a way out of it and always a way forward.
Okay, so those are some of the challenges that you're facing. What other challenges are you facing when doing deals? I'm thinking about things like regulatory environment, the valuation gap, those kind of things.
Well, you mentioned regulatory. That's always interesting for us, and we look at it from two ways. There's the overall macro regulatory of the country. For example, we face things like withholding taxes, face things like how much stake can we own as a foreign entity into that market. As you know, we're a public company. We like to usually buy a majority, and that means because of governance and reporting and consolidation reasons. If, for example, in certain countries in Asia, we cannot do that. So it adds more challenges for us when we want to go in and invest in a place. So that's a couple of examples of the macro situation. On the micro level, challenges would usually be about the governance, the corporate governance. How do they report? How do they manage their relationship with customers? And when you're looking at emerging markets, these standards we find on average are not up to standards usually. We try to go in and also evaluate that and see if there's a way out of it. Can we actually elevate that level to an acceptable minimum where we can work with. Otherwise, we shy away from that. So the challenges on reporting have been very high, and a lot of the companies we met were not able to meet that standard. But we continue to look, and we continue to try to see if there's anyone out there who has those proper standards.
Great. Thank you very much for that insight, Nader.